there's a magnetic state. And when you're in it, your purpose, your energy, your essence all align, and synchronicity is created.
We've interviewed some of the greatest entrepreneurs of our time, and they've tapped in. We call this frequency high five energy, named after the micro moment where two people meet in perfect timing and, yes, alignment.
Sort of like how we met, under extraordinary synchronistic circumstances.
I was on a date with someone else.
And after 2 weeks, I told, as one does, your mom that I was going to marry you.
Presumptuous, but accurate. We've identified behavior shifts that help people access this state. Today, we'll be diving into a few of them, showing not only how billion-dollar enterprises were created in the process, but how everyday magic is accessible to you if you choose to activate it.
I want to take you back to New York. It's 6:50 a.m. I'm groggy, under-caffeinated, and I had two choices. I can ride the subway for an hour, or I could blow my paycheck on a daily 10-minute taxi. Then the thought hit me, wouldn't it be cool if I could share a taxi? That question sparked a chain reaction that would change the next decade of my life. I didn't wait, I acted. I emailed my best friend Evan, he replied with code, and we built Ride Amigos, the first ever taxi sharing website. Here's where the synchronicity showed up. On the day we launched, New York City had its only taxi strike in 20 years. Now keep in mind, this is before Uber, so every major news outlet reported how people were organically sharing taxis. After reaching out, Ride Amigos was in every major paper and we went viral. It was as if the city itself was conspiring to prove our concept. When you're bold enough to act, not waiting for others to solve problems for you, the world clears the road for you. Synchronicity is activated, not gifted.
Let me tell you about another Jeff Hoffman, a guy who missed his flight. Not because he overslept, not because of traffic, but because he had to wait in line for over an hour just to print his boarding pass. At that moment, Jeff, not this one, future co-founder of Priceline, wasn't a tech visionary yet. He was just broke, annoyed, and thinking that there had to be a better way. Noticing that banks had ATMs, proving that people didn't need tellers, led him to ask, why couldn't airports do the same? That desire to solve a problem evolved into the self-service kiosks now ubiquitous with airline travel, used every day without a second thought. Once he figured out how to relay those back-end systems and make them accessible to the average person, he saw a future where people would one day book their own flights.
Here's where the synchronicity really intensifies. As Jeff was building this technology, Jay Walker, who had a patent on name your own price for travel, reached out. He already had the business model, Jeff had the tech. Together, with a rounded out team, they built Priceline, disrupting and reshaping travel as we know it.
Both Jeffs didn't hesitate or wait for someone else to solve the problem. By taking action to become the solution, it brought them into alignment with their own lived insights and frustration. That alignment created the conditions for synchronicity.
Mike Dubin saw the razor problem years before he launched Dollar Shave Club. Razors were overpriced, overpackaged, and locked behind plastic dungeons at the drugstore. Then synchronicity arrived when a friend's dad just happened to have a warehouse full of surplus razors. Not luck, alignment. Having already identified the problem, he recognized the moment and acted.
With a mere $4,500 budget to spend on a shoot, he enlisted the help of a director friend he met while studying sketch comedy, used a script he wrote himself, and launched Dollar Shave Club with a video that went viral and sparked a $1 billion acquisition by Unilever. When you leverage what's already in front of you, you are practicing alignment. Not waiting for conditions to be perfect signals that I'm in, I'm resourceful, I'm ready. That embodied readiness aligns you with your purpose. Synchronicity is activated, not gifted.
Now, the most profound way to activate synchronicity is recognizing that we are all the same. Everyone, no matter their title, their net worth, or their followers, is human, with hopes and dreams, fears and insecurities. Like the children's book, we call the shift, everybody poops. Of course, the biology of it holds true. Everyone literally poops, ideally daily.
Not our 4-year-old, but we are working on it.
But it serves as a reminder of our shared humanity.
When we stop idolizing or diminishing others, we create connection. And connection unlocks access to synchronicity. I saw this countless times at auditions, but on one of my earliest, I found myself going out for the daughter of the series lead role of the new Michael Patrick King pilot. Now, I don't know if you know who Michael Patrick King is, but more importantly at the time, I didn't either. And that worked out to my benefit, because as we circumvented the power dynamic, my humanity came through, and we could connect as two people inspired to collaborate towards a shared artistic vision. And I totally booked it.
A curious admin, Jessica Jackley, opened a random email and decided to crash a class when economist Muhammad Yunus was speaking about microfinance. That moment became the spark that led her to East Africa, where Jackley met entrepreneurs living in humble conditions, people who up until that point were viewed as in need of charity. But she saw individuals full of drive and ingenuity.
Seeing a goat herder in need of a few more goats, as equal to the Silicon Valley founder raising a Series A, led her to co-found Kiva, a microlending platform that has since facilitated over $3 billion in microloans and changed millions of lives around the world.
That simple behavior shift, which breeds connection and collaboration, brought her into alignment with her purpose. And in a world distracted with likes, follows, and digital applause, there's something sacred about real connection and acknowledging our shared humanity. Synchronicity is activated, not gifted.
And it's everywhere. As the saying goes, there are only 2 ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is. And that's the thing about synchronicity. It's a choice to engage with your world differently. It doesn't require a perfect plan or some dramatic leap into founding a company. It starts with the smallest of choices, shifts that create connection that you can start doing today.
Like not putting in your headphones the second you get on a plane, and instead turning to the person next to you and saying, "Hi."
Hi. Or volunteering to coach your kid's soccer team, even if you've never coached anything a day in your life. Sending a voice memo instead of a text so people can really hear you.
Reaching out to that person you've been too busy to connect with by saying yes more than you say no. The path to synchronicity is not grand, it's human. And it starts when you become the solution, leverage what's available, and recognize that everybody poops and connect without pretense.
All of these behavior shifts ultimately serve one thing: alignment. And when you're aligned with your purpose, that is when synchronicity shows up. That is when impossible moments become inevitable.
So, what idea have you been sitting on? What conversation have you been too intimidated to start? What small act of connection can you all do today to activate your high five energy and, frankly, make the world a better place?
Because when it comes to synchronicity, you don't need to be chosen. You just need to choose.